The WWE are extremely frustrated at the censorship issues on TV, plus the Bloodline story just got way more intense with Paul Heyman being put through the announce table last night on SmackDown. So with that said, let's just jump right into the first topic of the video today, which is WWE frustrated with censorship. And yes, this has had a big topic of debate for a long time throughout the WWE, throughout the PG era, about how certain things have been censored on TV, crowd chants, and all this stuff. And we've seen an instance of this again last night during the MSG Friday Night Smackdown. And we did get a quote from a longtime WWE talent who wasn't named. He wasn't on the show, but this is what he had to say. He said, "It's a chore to watch sometimes. I understand censoring F the Pacers, but it feels like every segment is edited and it makes us look like it's our production, when clearly it's not the production of WWE. It is whoever's hosting their broadcast at that time." And I definitely have to agree with him here. I think, when a screen goes black when you're watching SmackDown, when you're watching Raw, when you're watching any of these weekly events on TV, it's definitely very frustrating as a viewer, because there was an instance, I believe it was last night, where the screen went black while Nia Jax was coming out, and then all of a sudden we came back and she was getting attacked. So, it makes sense for it to be frustrating. It's frustrating for me and for you guys watching these WWE events when you're trying to get a little bit of that atmosphere, that experience from the arena, sitting on your couch at home watching and just hearing how excited these fans at MSG are to be at a Friday Night Smackdown event. And it's definitely been an issue for a very long time, where there is some expletive chant or something like this, and the screen goes black, the audio gets cut, and it just takes away from the program a lot more. So I can see where WWE is coming from here. The frustration is boiling over. It's probably a big reason why that they are moving to Netflix, because they won't have to deal with this anymore, and they're freed up to do whatever they want with their production. So I think the move to Netflix is really going to help this. But in the meantime, if we're watching Raw or SmackDown and the screen goes black, it just takes away from that experience when TV stations like the USA Network or Fox, they always or sometimes air movies and stuff that are 14 plus, whatever, 18 plus, or whatever it is, and they always have that warning come up at the beginning saying, hey, this is 14 plus, viewer discretion is advised, stuff like this. I remember that message used to come up every single time wrestling was on when I was a kid. There was never any censorship issues back then. Not that I can believe. I was really young at the time and probably didn't understand what censorship was, but why can't we do that? Why can't these stations like Sportsnet? I haven't seen this issue so much on Sportsnet. It's more the American fans who have been frustrated about this, like on the USA Network, on Fox, wherever they are. Why can't we have a warning? Why can't we have, this program is intended for audience 14 plus? Then it covers it. It covers those issues. It covers the foul language and stuff like that. It used to be that way. Why isn't it that right now? I don't know if you guys, work within, the broadcasting world or anything like that, and could let me know down below in the comment section about why there isn't any warning labels that, maybe could say, hey, this program is 14 plus every time they come back from commercial, and then, we don't have to see these issues continue. But for me, I think that may be the main solution here. I think adding a warning label at the beginning of every segment could really help the product, where then they're covering themselves as a organization that's airing this, that's saying, hey, this is 14 plus. It's not on us, whatever happens here. It's live broadcasting type of thing. So I would like to hear your guys' thoughts on that down below in the comment section, because I think that would be the perfect way to fix it. But now going to Netflix is definitely going to help that as well, because, on Netflix, they can kind of do whatever they want. They can put their own rating on the product, which will definitely help that way. But I'd love to hear an explanation on the whole warning label thing. I think that is definitely an interesting thing that they could could do. But we're going to get into the second topic of the video today, which is the Bloodline just got more intense. And yes, if you guys missed Friday Night Smackdown last night, we seen tensions finally boil over between the Bloodline and Paul Heyman, the new Bloodline, and Paul Heyman, where, you know, they were having their acknowledgement ceremony, and they're about to put the Tribal Chief necklace on Solo, and Paul Heyman goes, "He is not my Tribal Chief," or "You're not my Tribal Chief." And, you know, then that led to an attack on the wise man, Paul Heyman, where the new Bloodline put him through the announce table. And I gotta say, round of applause to Paul Heyman at his age to take a spot like that, to take a bump of going through an announce table. Oh my God, what a legend. I mean, Hall of Famer Paul Heyman. I loved that from him last night. But, I mean, this just sets up so much more within the Bloodline now that I'm very, very extremely excited for. I mean, it seems like right now, you know, with the Solo's enforcer being the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu, it seems like this whole new bloodline of Solo, Jacob Fatu, Tonga, and Tonga Loa are really just, you know, starting to gain traction and gain ground as that dominant force on Friday Night Smackdown. And now with Paul Heyman out of the picture, who knows what's next for Solo? He can do whatever he wants. He doesn't have the wise man in his ear saying, "Hey, we shouldn't do this. The Tribal Chief Roman wouldn't love this." So I think we're going to see the Bloodline kind of pick up a little bit more of its intensity now. But what does this mean now that Paul Heyman's out of the picture? I think it means that he's going to join forces back with Roman Reigns, the big dog. I think it just makes perfect sense for Paul Heyman to reunite with his good buddy, his pal, Roman Reigns here, and they just start to, you know, bring back the old Bloodline. And it seems right now that, you know, Roman Reigns is being over as a face without even being in the company. I mean, if we just look at this picture here, they say, you know, Roman Reigns has been gone from WWE for quite some time, but he said last night's episode of SmackDown made it quite evident that Reigns is already super over as a babyface, and he did it without even showing up or lifting a finger. They also said, "Did you hear how loudly the live audience popped when Paul Heyman refused to acknowledge Solo as the Tribal Chief?" The Bloodline's heated attack on Heyman indicates that Reigns will be back on TV sooner rather than later, and WWE fans can't wait to cheer for the real Tribal Chief. And I know I'm one of them. I think Roman Reigns is going to be back soon. Everybody expected it to be at SummerSlam. Maybe we see him interfere at Money in the Bank during that big 6-man tag match. But I think if Cody and Solo are still set to face off at SummerSlam, I think that is the better timetable for Roman to return. It's a bigger event. It's one of the biggest events of the year in regards of WWE. So having Roman come out, cost Solo his chance at the championship, and reclaim his seat at the head of the table would be perfect. I mean, what Cody said last night was perfect. He said Solo isn't a Tribal Chief. He isn't the head of the table. He's just a seat filler. I mean, that is an amazing line from Cody Rhodes last night, and it's completely true, because who's the real Tribal Chief? It is Roman Reigns. And this will just set up the whole Bloodline Civil War for November at Survivor Series. It would just be an amazing event to happen. Would be Roman coming back with the wise man Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman getting his revenge on Solo and the new Bloodline for putting him through the table. And Roman Reigns coming back and you know, getting revenge on his wise man, the Paul Heyman, by taking out Solo, coming back and saying, "Hey, this is not what the Bloodline's all about." Being that face, Roman Reigns, being the big dog that everybody loves. We hear it every single week on SmackDown. The "We Want Roman" chants are reigning throughout the building. So it would just make complete sense for him to come back as a face, maybe alongside Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso. I think that would be perfect to bring the Bloodline back together. Maybe Jey Uso wins the Money in the Bank, so they have something within in their faction that they can flaunt around, like the Money in the Bank. I think it's just perfect. But maybe Jake stays out of it until later on. But I definitely see Jimmy and Roman and Paul coming back at SummerSlam. I think it would just be the perfect way to get this new Bloodline story to its peak by having the old Tribal Chief versus the new Tribal Chief. Not my Tribal Chief, change my mind. Solo Sikoa, I think it would be perfect. I love this idea, and the way that they've been doing this Bloodline story by not getting stale at all, by incorporating new members, by, turning their backs on the wise man. It just keeps this story going, keeps it interesting. It always has fans thinking, when's Roman finally going to give in and say enough is enough? And I think Paul Heyman being put through a table is him saying, enough is enough. But I'm really excited to see where the Bloodline goes here in the future, and I can't wait for the big dog Roman Reigns to come back as Tribal Chief. And I know you guys are too, but I'm going to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on this new Bloodline? What did you think about Paul Heyman getting put through the table? When do you think we will see Roman Reigns return? Let us know down below in the comment section. But we're going to get into everybody's favorite topic here, which is comment of the day. And the comment of the day today goes to Dak Kid. He says, I don't want a face Roman. I'm actually scared he will be beaten and losing matches like crazy and be pushed back. And this is a good point here by that Kid makes. That's a hard name to say, but he says, I don't want to see Roman back as face because that makes him, lose matches. That may make him be pushed back a little bit, because heel Roman Reigns, he was a force. Nobody could stop this guy, and maybe coming back as a face gives a little bit more leeway to the WWE where he can take losses more and stuff like that. I really do think that's a good point, but I think Roman is just so over with the fans, so over in the WWE universe right now that losing a couple of matches wouldn't really set him back too far, but you wouldn't want to see him lose a big amount of matches in a row, because then, like you said, it takes the prestige away from Roman Reigns. But this is a very good point, and I love seeing that comment down below in the comment section. If you guys have any similar opinions or opinions about the Bloodline in general that you want to share here on the channel, make sure down below and comment. You might be featured on the next comment of the day, just like that kid was today. I love talking about your guys' opinions, your guys' theories and stuff, so please go down and leave a comment while you're down there. Hit the like button. It helps push these videos out to all the wrestling fans on YouTube. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. We're going to be here every day talking about the wrestling, talking about WWE, and talking about theories that are, going to play out over these next couple of months. And if you don't want to miss out on any of that, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to check out a video we did just the other day talking about our Money in the Bank theories, it'll be popping up on your screen right now. But as always, I've been your host, Casey. We'll catch you in the next one.